Kenya went to polls on Tuesday. They voted to select a new president, but 3 days on, there is no news on who the next president might be. Kenya's Election Commission has neither released a running tally of the results, nor said when it plans to announce the winner. But unofficial accounts and media reports suggest that it's a tight race despite the low turnout. On the ballot is a veteran opposition leader and former political prisoner, Raila Odinga, who is making a fifth attempt at becoming president. He stands neck and neck with outgoing Deputy President William Ruto. The complicated process of verifying and tallying votes is expected to take days, and the Election Commission chairman has urged Kenyans to be patient, keen to avoid rigging allegations that have haunted previous polls.
It is important for transparency. Kenya has a very checkered history of elections. Results are always disputed. Remember, we hold some of the most orderly and peaceful voting processes in the continent. But when it comes to tallying of election results, it becomes a big problem. We saw it in 2007, we saw it in 2013 and 2017. And we see this as a very important step towards removing the veil of secrecy around the management of election results. The more transparency, the better for the country, the better for democracy, the better for peace.
The call for patience and peace is due to the country's past elections. Over 1,200 people were killed in widespread violence that followed the 2007 election, and over 100 died after the 2017 polls. Meanwhile, the 2022 outcome is also being closely tracked worldwide. Kenya is the region's richest economy, a stable nation in a volatile region, and a close Western ally that hosts regional headquarters for companies like Alphabet and Visa. The winning candidate must get over 50% of the votes to win. If there's no outright winner, there will be a second round of voting. Now, for more on this, we are being joined by our correspondent, Coletta Wanjohi from Addis Ababa. Hello to you, Coletta. What is the latest on the presidential results? Who is expected to be the next Kenyan president?
It is very early to call or to even speculate who's going to be the next president, and that's because the verification of votes is still going on. A very tedious process, but one that is a noble one in the fact that the Electoral Commission this time wants to be transparent in terms of the votes coming out or the results coming out, and also to ensure that it does not leave any gap, like it has happened in the previous voting times. So what we are having right now is collation and verification of results that came from the field. There is a delay, yes, and that's because they have to do this over and over again until they are sure. So what came out from the field was about results from over 46,000 polling stations. Now, what is happening right now is the Electoral Commission is compiling that under constituencies, which are about 290 constituencies, and that's what we are having being projected right now, and that's why we are seeing it a bit slow. So up to now, it's really hard to tell who is going to even take the lead.
Absolutely, Coletta. So we are seeing a delay in these results being released. What is causing the delay in declaring the results? You have touched on the fact that the winning candidate must get over 50%, and it is really quite early to tell right now.
Yeah, the main factor of delay, especially for now, is the whole process of verification of results and compiling them into the 290 constituencies of the country, and then relaying that. So that's one of the slow process, causing the slow process. Secondly, we also have an issue whereby presiding officers in the different polling stations, over 46,000 polling stations, were expected, after counting the votes at the end of the voting time of the day on Tuesday, they were expected to take a picture of the final results form and then send that to the Electoral Commission. But after that, travel up to Nairobi from wherever they are in the country and hand over the original certificate. So until they handed over the original certificates, then the IBC, the Electoral Commission, would compare what was sent as a photo and the original. And you can imagine some people are really far from Nairobi and they have to wait for all these people. Thirdly, we've also had the issue that the IBC also has to wait for some polling stations that did not manage, or some areas that did not manage to vote. They voted late, so that means the results are going to come late. And in some places, in some few places, voting was postponed to the next day, so they have to wait for results of that. So because of a combination of all this, then we have to have a slow process. The Electoral Commission says it has 7 days, and that gives it up to about Monday, according to the law. But according to yesterday, the chairperson said at least maybe by Friday, by today, Kenyans should sleep knowing who their next leader is. I don't know if that will happen, because so far the verification process is still slow.
Right. Koleta, thank you very much for bringing us all the latest on these elections. Now, for more on this, we are being joined by Agre Mutambo from Nairobi in Kenya, who is a news editor, the East African. Thank you for being with us. Can you explain the reasons why the Kenyan Election Commission is taking so long and so much care to validate the results?
The Electoral Commission is taking a lot of time to declare the results because of the legal restrictions imposed on it 5 years ago, when the losing opposition group went to court to challenge the victory of the president then at the Supreme Court. Now, since then, the Electoral Commission has been advised to only announce results after the physical forms declaring the winners have been delivered by the returning officers to the tallying center in Nairobi. Now, this country is quite expansive and the infrastructure is not yet so good, so most of those officers have just been arriving yesterday evening and today, so we expect that the tallying might continue until at least later this afternoon or maybe tomorrow.
Right, and what are the biggest challenges facing the incoming president?
The new president will face a lot of problems. First is the economy that's not doing very well. There's a very high inflation that is almost crossing 9%. This is the highest in the last 5 years or so. And then, of course, Kenya, like most other countries in Africa, are net importers and have been affected by the war in Ukraine. And this is going to mean that there's a lot of cushioning he has to do to the general public. And it will be a sort of a dilemma whether to cut taxes, increase taxes, because there's also the challenge of debt. Kenya has one of the highest public debts across Africa, and it is going to be interesting how the government is going to maneuver that. And then, of course, politically, the new president has to bridge the gap, because this is a very tight election, and it means that even the losing side might feel like they should have won, and therefore the new president will have to bridge the divide and try to reconcile communities so that there's no political post-election tensions.
We are now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.